simplest way to think about functional movement is, what do you want to do in life during your day and during your week? And then how can you accomplish that in the most efficient way possible, the safest manner possible, to limit falls risk and other things like that. And so is it playing with your puppy dog or your grandchildren, or is it going stand-up paddleboarding? What are some of the activities that you want to be doing? Is it just getting up and down from the ground so that you can do exercises at home? Whatever that is, we're looking at the full body movement, the full amount of movement that you need for whatever that activity is. And because we're pretty outdoor and sport focused, we're utilizing things like a kayak to get down low, sitting into a low seat and standing up. Well, if you can get down into a kayak and stand back up, you can get onto a park bench and stand back up. And so it translates to a lot of different other settings and gives confidence, and also helps with problem solving, because we're getting people into, I would say, the higher level of challenge with support around them, because we have physical therapists, and then we often have other support team members present as well. And so we're getting people into really challenging situations and showing how they can be successful, with the hope that that then translates to maybe the simpler things in life that are at home and in their basic community as well. We can get a lot more interest and a lot more attention for the nervous system if it's something fun and novel and challenging. For example, on a stand-up paddleboard, even if someone can't stand on a stand-up paddleboard, I can get them on their knees up in tall kneeling where their hips are extended, and we can work on their extension, which is helping work on their posture, being upright, staying up tall and not slouching. And so even if they never stand up on the paddleboard, we can still use the paddleboard, the buoyancy of the water, move them around, use those perturbations, which is basically challenging the balance system to force their hips to engage and their back to engage. And then they'll walk taller after that training. So we might notice that somebody on the rock wall has trouble with trunk rotation, reaching to a certain rock. Well, I can point that out and say, look at this. If you can improve your trunk rotation or your hip rotation, or maybe your adductors are tight, the muscles that pull your legs together, maybe those are tight, and so you can't stretch out your legs as far as you want to. If I can attach the basic exercise from home of flexibility, strengthening, and those kinds of movements, then if I can attach that to a meaningful activity and they can picture themselves doing that activity better, it's far more motivating.
It's always about the whole person that we're trying to work with. And even if we're trying to get specific exercises, like Carolyn just said, sometimes it's that we're getting them out there in their real environment. I get to observe them in their real environment, but I'm also helping them to build that confidence. And sometimes that's what they need in order to do the things that they want to. And then the more that they keep moving, then the less deficits they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, so do I need to prescribe a home exercise program that's lay on the ground and do 10 by 10 stretch? You know what I mean? Like exercises or something specific like that? Not necessarily, if I can find a way for them to do it in a fun way out in their community with their grandkids or with those kind of things too, right? So there's a lot of ways to look at a home exercise program and make it effective. A lot of things that we're looking at for people with Parkinson's, and when the dopamine isn't working correctly, people with Parkinson's movements get smaller. And so it's not just their steps, their handwriting can get smaller, their voice gets smaller. And so we're really trying to overcome that. And research shown is that if we can get them getting that bigger amplitude, really we're trying to work on neuroplasticity. So getting the heart rate up so that we are working in zones that can help produce more dopamine, and really having some really specific skilled exercises. Targeting that is going to be helping with a lot of the motor symptoms, but as well as we're going to be helping the non-motor symptoms. So it's not just the rigidity that we're looking at and the amplitude, the bradykinesia. A lot of our people with Parkinson's are also going to have some sleep disturbance, constipation. So really trying to look at all of those things. And we know that exercise can help with all of that.
Trying to get motivated, it's as simple as pick something small, achievable, and just start a habit. Start a habit of, I'm going to get outside and walk the block with a neighbor, or just get to the mailbox. So I find that people have the most success when they pick really small initial goals, and really the only goal is just to create a good, healthy habit, and then you can always add to it. You can always build. Sometimes when people get really frustrated is when they start with very big ideas. I'm going to exercise an hour every single day, morning and night, right? And they overload themselves and then get really discouraged. So I really think that developing a good, healthy habit first, no matter how small, even if it's 5 minutes, is really critical to then being able to build on that and create the lifestyle that you want.
Especially when you get into group environments. They say that once you've met one person with Parkinson's, you've met one person with Parkinson's, and really there is such a spectrum of abilities. So when you are in a group environment, making sure that you're not comparing yourself to your neighbor, like you are out there to be the best that you can be, and you need to be pushing yourself. I mean, a little bit of friendly competition is okay, but don't get discouraged because somebody's going faster than you, right? You need to make sure that you are doing the best that you possibly can each and every day.